And welcome back, guys, to another review with me. It's been a long time, but today we are doing the review on the long-awaited, long overdue, and we always get it last, the Harley Davidson Livewire. And to say I'm pumped is an absolute understatement. So why am I so excited about Riding Livewire? Well, to me, I've got to say, the first thing is that I don't see the electric bike industry as something that's going to take over the petrol market here and now. I see it as an additional add-on to what we all love to do, which is ride on two wheels. And for me, on a personal note, I have never ever ridden or been in or had any experience of riding an electric vehicle. So this, guys, is going to be sick. I mean, I'm so pumped to ride it. The one thing I do want to add is, I know there's lots of people out there that are just not keen on this coming to the market, but try it, just get on it, see what it's about. And today I'll give you guys some really good feedback on what this bike feels like. But without further ado, let's get into the spec of this bike. Okay, so lots going on with Livewire. So the next thing we got to do, as in all my test reviews, is the sound test. So in 3, 2, 1, let's do it. Yeah, we'll move away from the sound test, I think, and what I want to do next, guys, is show you what I look like on the bike. So in terms of my height, you'll see me just walking around 5'9". In terms of the riding position, then it's very much a mid-control bike. Feels very sporty for me when I sit on it, and very different to what I'm used to in terms of forward controls with HD. But I think with the control setup itself, it's definitely something that you will be able to throw about. Well, I'm definitely going to find this out today. So the big question is, how do I charge this sucker? So two different types. First one is when you're at the dealership. You can open this flap here, simply push down, this comes off, and then you plug it in like so. Charge time is around an hour at your dealership with the big power charger, and that'll give you the full shebang. Next thing then is when you take it home, like most people obviously do, and charge it up, then just under the seats you have got the plug-in point that you can stick into your socket. Just under the seat, stick the key in like so. I'll probably do it really awkward on camera, it's my first time. Yes, definitely awkward. And then you just pull the lever just like here, and then this will pop up, and then you've got full access then to the plug to go into your socket and get it nicely charged up. So as I sit on the bike, first thing I'm noticing is that the controls are very similar to all the other Harley Davidsons that I've been on, which is great. So for guys and girls coming from Harley onto this bike, you'll be getting used to this very quickly. The other thing that really stands out is there's no lever here, there's no clutch lever. So what you've got is the front brake on the right hand side, and with all other motorcycles just like this, then you will have the brake for the rear where it should be. Looking ahead then, you've got this beautiful LCD display. So if I turn it on like so, you'll see it all light up, very pretty indeed. Other things that you've got on the right hand side is the rider mode. So different types of mode available as you shuffle through it. Currently on motorway at the moment, then sports mode, then you've got rain, which gives it more traction control, and then economical mode to give it that longer riding distance. Then, as always with the other Harleys, you've got the right self-cancelling indicator, then you've got a navigation button just below the self-cancelling indicator, which takes you to the different options. So I've got no navigation at the moment, and it's showing me trip A, trip B, and all the other things such as battery charge. I'm at 100%, which is fantastic. On the left hand side then, the buttons that you've got is traction control, main beam, headlight. Oh, we've got the horn, let's test that. It's definitely louder than the engine, that's for sure. Left self-cancelling indicator, and then you've got all other options such as cruise control and all those things. Now this thing does connect to your Harley Davidson app. I cannot do that today, but if you connect to it, you can access things like your sat navigation and Bluetooth, etc., which will bring things like maps straight onto this beautiful console. So a nice little touch. The other thing that I just want to point out, if you press the cycle button, which is just here, it'll tell you exactly how much you've done. So 16 miles this Livewire's done, and total miles is 105. So hopefully I'll have a good ride out of it today. So right guys, I'm going to get on with this. Put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. Try and be nice. Try. Okay, stand in, turning it on. Oh, this is so crazy. It's just so different. Right, press start. Okay, 0 miles an hour. We are ready to go. I'm just going to change the mode quickly. So I'm going to do traction control first, guys. Oh, let's go. Okay. This feels alright. This is different. Whoa. Let's see what it does. Woo! That feels really, really strange. So for you guys that are new to my channel, I'm going down to a place called Beachy Head. It's where I do the test reviews and all the Harleys. Beautiful place in the south of England. We've got a nice dry day today. So I'll be taking Livewire through its paces. I think my reviews are a little bit different. I think I do challenge these bikes a bit more than reviews that I've seen. So hopefully you guys enjoy. And without further ado, I just need to get on with it. Okay, no sound. Here we go. And already, look at that, I went to shift up then. Absolutely bonkers. I mean, obviously there is clearly no sound. Just cruising at 39 miles an hour. It's mad. It's absolutely nuts. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm on a giant toy. So let's talk about those ergonomics. As I mentioned earlier, it is a mid-control bike. I definitely feel like I'm in a sporty ride position. I feel like this is the type of bike, for me, I would probably be pinning back that throttle all the time, and I'm sure I would probably get into a bit of trouble. But the seat itself is quite small for me. You know, for my size, absolutely spot on. Clearly it's not a long distance riding machine. We all know that from the battery life. However, in terms of the seat, the comfort, and bearing in mind I've only been on this a very short period of time, it's definitely a tough seat. So for me, I've had enough of rain modes. I'm just going to crank it up, get into sports mode. So actually as you're riding along, I believe you can change it as you go in, which you can. Engine braking coming on. Whoop, let's have a bit of a fiddle here. And then sport mode engaged. One thing I do notice is sport mode, there's a lot more engine braking, and in turn that does give the battery a little bit of a charge, and that's weird. Come into a stop and nothing, and then you twist the throttle and off you go. Absolutely bonkers. One thing I would say is straight away I'm used to the bike in terms of that low speed, just managing it like so. It's quite an easy bike, I think, to jump on and get used to it from that perspective. Coming into the roundabout, right indicator on. Let's see what this is like. So we're going to do a full 360. Just keeping that throttle on all the time, because if you lock off here, I just feel there'll be a bit too much engine braking. But going round, I mean, I'm trying to be careful at the same time, because I know if I pull this throttle back, it's going to go for it. But it does feel really, really good. I'm just really excited getting round to the last part of the exit, and I'm just going to open this sucker up. Okay, here we go, guys. What you've been probably anticipating or waiting for. 3, 2, 1, let's go. I mean, that was quick. That was amazingly quick. Thoroughly enjoyable. Clearly I stuck to the speed limit. What a rocket. And this is what I mean, I would be constantly pinning this thing back. Coming into the next part of the test, we're going to be carving through this roundabout, hopefully. Let's see what Livewire is all about. Here we go. Nothing coming through. Lovely, jubbly, leaning into it. And then again, open it up. Coming into another roundabout. Taking it a little bit easy. Keeping that throttle slightly on, don't want any engine braking, quite used to that already. And then opening it up. One bit of advice, just keep it on sport mode. So we're now on the A road, travelling at 60 miles an hour. What does this bike feel like? I had to stop myself saying no vibrations, because again, I was thinking about an engine, but it is smooth. The suspension itself is really firm. I definitely would like to adjust that for my body weight a little bit more. But the brakes themselves as well, very responsive. Obviously with the price point of what it is, you would expect to see those large Brembos on it. Whilst I'm at the traffic lights, I thought I'd give you guys a bit of an understanding of the throttle response. So just a little bit open and it's rolling already, but it's very easy to get used to. The only thing that's a little bit crazy is that engine braking when in sports mode. It does really pull you back, in fact to the point where you don't have to apply that much brake, well, versus a normal motorbike with an engine. But this bike just feels so easy to maneuver, and that's what's coming across straight away. But taking it wide here and then going in, leaning into that right hand side, and it is just so easy. And then coming through here, this is where you can really test the suspension and all sorts, and it feels good. I'm still absolutely perplexed about the lack of noise coming from it. For me, that's the first thing I listen to understand how much gun that I'm giving it, but you've just got to try and feel it out. But the bike taking some real heavy bumps, and that show of suspension working pretty well. Let's just overtake here, and it's just got so much gun. I mean, for overtaking, you're not going to have a problem at all. And then slowing down here and then taking a long left, leaning it in. And this is the bit where I just like to open it up as it comes to the top, like so. Jeez, that's good. And coming to the right, a little bit of brake, probably a bit too much. And that's the thing, I mean, this bike is very excitable. I kind of overshot there. But fun. Okay, coming into, as you can see, a national speed limit. No cars ahead. I just want to do a rolling start with this thing. So 8 miles an hour, nothing behind me. Let's get in position. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa. Jesus. That was quick. I mean, it's so quick. I was losing traction at the back, but that was down to the roads. But that was so much fun. And then coming out into the open here. Here we go. And let's open it up. Boom, look at it. Flying along there. I could just feel that suspension holding firm, keeping that wheel solid to the ground. Very good. Enjoyed that. It's a real shame that the roads are a little bit slippery with mud on. Just looking at my LCD display at the moment, saying I've got 62 miles left. It was that 82% battery life. Think I'll be okay. Coming towards that beachy head, got a nice little right bend, then the left bend, and then going into that bumpy area on that road, testing that suspension. But here we go, in these conditions. Don't need much brake actually, because that engine braking, as I was talking about. And then open it up, watch the wet, then coming into that left, then giving it a little bit of gun, trying to get that traction, and then coming over to the right hand side. This is where I'm intrigued to see how Livewire stacks up as I'm bouncing about. And then let's open it up. Oh, lovely. That suspension really keeping me firm on the ground, and as you can hear, it's pretty rough. Okay, so just coming around the bend, and let's just open this up and listen to that thing squeal. The speed that you can get up to on this thing is just mind-blowing. And just coming around this nice open bend, absolutely sick. And I'm just in that crouch position again, as if I'm in a sports bike even. It's just great. And then coming over to the right hand bend, coming over by the cliffs, just dropping it down. I'm not dropping it down, I'm just taking the thing off the accelerator. And then over to the left, super choppy waters today. Looking over, looking where I'm going, and again, let's open it up. Coming into the last part of the test, this is the fun one. This is the tight twisty, and it'll be interesting to see how Livewire performs. But so far, suspension phenomenal, handling has been superb, and I've just had to get used to that center of gravity of the weight distribution in the middle. So here we go, left, like so, and then right, just a little bit of throttle, and then open it up, and then taking it wide, and then left, coming round, like so, and then keeping it tight and opening it up. Lovely. Beautiful. So what did I think about Livewire? The first thing that springs to mind is that speed. It's absolutely incredible. It is just lightning fast, and for me that is a massive thrill. Perhaps not the best one or safest one for me, but still absolutely amazing. To be honest, I do like the styling. I think it looks kind of cool. I am a cruiser guy. That is the market that I love, but can definitely see the appeal here. The brakes are phenomenal, those Brembos at the front, superb power there. The other thing that I've got to say is a massive well done is that suspension. There is really not much I can say that's wrong with this bike, but I get it. It's the obvious thing. It's the battery life, it's the range, it's how long it takes to charge. And to me, do you know what? I think the exciting part about Livewire is that this is generation 1. You think about how fast technology evolves, and you look at 1 year, 2 years down the line where Harley Davidson are going to be with their electric bikes. It's going to be amazing. Already they've got more in production in terms of different electric motorcycles, and all it can do is attract more and more people to the market. We all know electric is here to stay. We all know it's going to be the future, and somehow we've all got to adapt to it. But today what I can tell you is that I've thoroughly enjoyed Livewire in this windy condition down Beachy Head. But that's all I can say, guys. Jump on one, find out for yourself, then form an opinion. But apart from that, I'm out of here. All the best, Motor Noob Rider.